What's up, my fellow devs, and welcome back to the Dev Shop. So today we're going to take a look at a new feature that was dropped in version 1.9 that just released called script events. Now, script events is a form of communication between script canvases that we were kind of missing in previous builds. So you would treat this as a normal function that can hold parameters, it can return variables and values, and then you can manipulate that data how you see fit across different script canvases. So let's take a look at how you would maybe do something like that. So we have an entity right here. I have it called script events. I've added a script canvas node here. I'm going to open it up. As you can see, we have a new section right here called script events, and it's currently blank. So what I want to do is actually click this plus button up here, and if you hover over it, you will see a tooltip that says click to create a new custom event. So if I click that, it'll bring up this window. Now, as you can see, this is part of the asset editor where you also create your physical materials in your input bindings. So if you ever want to get into this window outside of the script canvas window, you can do it through the tools window inside of the main editor. Right, so we have name, category, tooltip, address type, which is optional, and then we have our events. So how you want to look at this is we have the category, and this is what shows up first when you go to script events. So it's already called script events, so I might want to call it game play events, right? And then I might want to call the name of the actual events I'm talking about. I'm going to call it stats, or yeah, let's call it stat events. Yeah, let's do it that way. So I can leave a tooltip and say this is for these events are for the player. I'm going to leave the address type blank, but you have different options. We're going to mainly deal with the parameters and return values, so we don't need to actually do anything with the address type. So now we get to the meat of what a script event is, and that is basically treating it like a function. So if we go to events down here at the bottom, hit the plus sign, we have a few fields here. So think of this as a function. So we have the name of our function, its return type if you need that, and its parameters that can be interacted with when you are receiving this event. So I'm going to call this one do damage, which is very common, so everyone should be able to understand that. In this instance, I don't need to return anything because I'm basically just sending out a value to be picked up and logic to be done with that value upon receiving the event. So this is basically a take damage event when you're shot or hit or whatever the case. So we definitely want parameters though, because we want to be able to send information between this event. So I'm going to hit the plus sign, which is going to give us another set of fields to fill out, and we have the name, tooltip, and type. So this parameter we're going to call damage, or damage done. Let's call it that, damage done. And we can say this is and it's going to be a number. Now with this, you can effectively recreate how you set up maybe a raycast damaging system in Unity, or recreating the on hit or break hit node in Unreal. So now that we have that, we have our name, we have our category, we have our tooltips and things like that. We have the name of our actual events, and then we have our parameters. So I'm just going to go ahead and save this asset now. Oh, and I made an error. Make sure you do not have spaces in none of the names. So I'm actually going to eliminate that. Let's capitalize that. Same here, same here. And for the names, I'm pretty sure the tooltip is okay for spacing, but the names and things like that, keep it without spaces. So let me go ahead and hit File, Save. I'm going to call it Gameplay Events. Save, and we're good. So as you can see over here, now that I created my own category, it's added new events, stat events, do damage. Now, if you would have left it at its default category as script events, it would have popped up right here. But I gave it its own category. So now if I was to drag this bad boy out, I want to send do damage. You see we have our damage. So now when you're doing something like weapon logic or a projectile, you'll want to use the do damage and send the damage of, say, you want to do a variable and call it gun damage. If we go ahead and grab that and whatever we set that to, plug that in here. So that would complete your weapon script pretty much. Now in the player, say in the player's health manager, we'll take that same do damage and we'll receive that. So now we're receiving this number. So we'll take this and maybe we'll subtract from another variable. And this is inside of the player's health manager now. We've created that before. So if I get that, and we subtract, well, actually it'd be more like subtracting the health from this number, more like that, and then setting the health and then doing all of your damage and playing animations and things like that, which we're definitely going to get into. But as you can see, this makes it a lot more easier to communicate with So if I finish this out, just for those who are further along in their project, we would then take the health, set it to the new number, and then from here what we could do is something like check to see if this number is less than or equal to 0 with a if statement. So let's say less than or equal to. So we can say if the health is less than or equal to 0. If it's true, then we will say we will do logic for player dead. If it's true, and then if it's false, that means we're still alive. You would have logic for hit reaction and all the other stuff that you will add for the player, taking a hit from a weapon or a melee attack or whatever the case. So that would basically be your health logic at its core creation, because you can definitely do a lot of stuff when you're taking away health or doing damage and whatnot. But that's basically your health right there. Very simple. Now that we have script events, it makes it really simple to do things like this for communication across script canvases, and also Lua, which is script events are available in Lua as well. But yeah, if you're familiar with like functions, if you write traditional code, then you'll get right in with script events. And we're going to be diving into how to set up our games now using this new workflow instead of using the old system, which was the gameplay notification bus. For those who are using that is now deprecated. This replaces that. So I hope you guys got a brief look into what the script events can do. It's a very cool system. I've been waiting for this for a while. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with it. I will probably now get into form for recreating, like say the FPS tutorial, and a little bit more structured, so it can be kind of like a staple for the channel for those who want to get into the engine. So I'm going to be taking my time with that for sure. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, let me know down below. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. If you guys want to join the Discord, you definitely can. We just don't talk about Lumberyard, we talk about other engines as well, but since Lumberyard is the main engine, I always promote it in that sense. Or if you just want to talk video games, that's fine too. But other than that, hope you guys are having a very dope day. Hope you guys are prospering in your projects. And until next time, keep developing.